Hello Aquarius, welcome to your September 2015 tarot reading. I'm using a different deck this time. This is the Aquarian deck by David Palladini. So I actually like the artwork and the front work. I'll show you in a little bit, but I do feel that this actually is a very, very good card to pinpoint love and finance both at the same time. So the imagery is very like portrait centered. And I'll show you in a little bit what I mean. So it's centered around the face, and I do feel that it's a good tool for self-analysis in general. Okay, so we have a bunch of cards. So let's look at this cluster first. Interesting. Okay, Aquarius, be a little bit careful about this month, okay? About people's intentions for you and about like overlooking so many flaws in other people. So that's something you want to be careful about. Okay, so let's go over this spread here. Usually the cards that come out, I do feel that they're meant to be included in the reading, and I usually just, pick the cards up. So what I'm getting here is at the center of this spread is not getting what you want, okay? Not getting the man that you want, not getting the woman that you want, regardless of your sexual orientation. I do feel there is an element here of not being able to get what it is that you want. You do have the wish card in the upright position, and this indicates things that, the universe is throwing your way. And you're kind of looking at the situation. You have the potential to get something that is really, really good for you, but you want something else, and you are so emotionally invested in getting the other thing that you want that you're not looking at all the possibilities opening up before you. So I do feel as well the main energy is coming through. You have the Queen of Swords in the reverse position. So I'm going to read this as you. And at the heart of it is like feeling very emotionally unfulfilled, okay? Feeling a little bit depleted, a little bit empty. And I do sense as well that it might be related to another person in your life, okay? Not being able to make traction, not having that clear communication with the person that you want. And I do feel a lot of you might be involved with a fire sign. This can be their sun, moon, rising. A lot of you might also be involved with an earth sign as well. So you're kind of caught in between two people. And I mentioned this for one of the mid-month reading for last month, and the same energy is coming through. There is somebody that you're really, really wanting, okay, between the two of them. And I do feel that one of them you've got in the bag, which is the fire sign. The fire sign is pursuing you, and he or she, fire signs are Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. They're pursuing you like full blown. But I do feel that because one of the dangers of being an Aquarius is that you tend to act aloof when people give you way too much attention, okay? So you feel that, oh, it's a little bit too easy. Maybe I should hold out for that other option. And I do feel that a lot of you are interested in an earth sign. The Hermit card in the reverse position indicates to me that this is an earth sign that you've had extensive run-in with, and there's still a lot of emotional fulfillment associated with your interaction with them. Because of it, you're not able to let it go, and you're not able to proceed with new beginnings with possibly a fire sign or even an air sign in your midst, okay? I do sense as well that, especially for women watching this situation, I do sense that if you are a straight woman, dating men and things like that, I do feel that you are torn, very torn between two partners, earth sign and fire, and then you actually definitely want the earth, but the fire sign is the better option. So a lot of you might be pursuing new beginnings with the fire sign instead. And, it's going to require a little bit of work because emotionally I feel that you're invested elsewhere. But the person that you really want to be with, there is stall communication. There are instances between you and the earth sign where communication is not going the way that you want. You don't really have full control over the course of this relationship. You can't really steer it in the way that you want. So the advice here is move on from blockages, okay? Move on from your troublesome past. Move on from people that can't meet you halfway. If they're not meeting you halfway, no matter what your emotional response to them is, they're not going to be able to fulfill you emotionally. So move forward and seek emotional fulfillment in people that are making themselves available to you. So I've been seeing this for quite some time for a lot of Aquarius in general. The cards that come out are all very, very relationship oriented, but the energy is scattered among many, many love interests, okay? So for the past like 4 months or so, a lot of Aquarius have been dating a lot of people, a lot of signs, and just a lot of people. And if you look at, other spreads done by other readers as well, air signs are just showing up across the board for love, spreads. But in general, I do feel that a lot of Aquarius are dating a lot of people, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're trying to recreate that passion. You're trying to find whoever it is that can fulfill you emotionally. But I do feel that you're keeping yourself like on the sidelines of life, because a lot of you have come to the point where I know what I want, and if I can't get this one person that I want, I don't want anything else. So then you bury yourself in a work situation, okay? You bury yourself in, even friends. You bury yourself in friendships. You dabble without being emotionally invested in anybody in your midst. So first of all, it's really be open-minded when it comes to love and relationships, okay? Be open-minded, because we don't always know what we want, and through trials and tribulations, that's how we learn. At this point, a lot of you might be so fixated on what it is that you really want out of relationships that you're not keeping your options open. Okay, and then there are people that are really interested in you, that are actually going to jumpstart your love life, that are bringing about a lot of newness into your life, especially fiery energy like passion and drive and ambition, and more of a carefree, lighthearted relationship. But you might turn your back on them, mainly because they're making themselves too available to you. Okay, so you feel as if, a lot of you, when you flirt, you tend to be very detached and you tend to be very aloof. And so you are naturally attracted to men or women who are a little bit of a mystery, who are a little bit of an enigma, and who are themselves self-possessed, very stoic, and very independent. So you might want to be with people like that. But when you get into situations with people like that, there might be a little bit of a power struggle. There might be a situation where, both parties are not, it's lacking the emotional investment, because both parties are so independent that they can't really emotionally invest in one another. At the same time, you might get into a situation where both parties are too like are too on guard when it comes to their feelings, that they're not, showing one another their true intentions, their true feelings, okay? So then you end up in a stalemate situation where you get the person that you want, but in terms of emotional fulfillment, you might be lacking in emotional depth with that person. So be careful what it is that you're wishing for in terms of what you need from a partner in order to be happy. And then on the other side of the coin, there is this one character, fiery character, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, that really, ignites your passion. But once again, they're making themselves too readily available. And especially on the work front, I do feel that there is a lot of like attraction from other people in your periphery, like especially in a work environment as well. This fire sign might be in a work front, and then another air sign might also be in your work front. And because of it, you might be hesitant about, jumping in, because it's, office romance. So you shy away from it, and you want to establish yourself on the career front as well, so you're hesitant about jumping in. I do feel that you are going to have to grapple with this energy, especially for, the first 2 weeks of the month. After that, things start to pick up all for the better. So I do feel as well for Aquarius women, especially, you might have two options on the table, and what you decide to do, I do feel that, you're starting to realize that you really want the earth sign, or you really, whereas the fire sign is more of a passionate affair. It might be, short term, but at least they're stirring your passion. So whatever it is that you want to do, I do sense that you're going to be happy ultimately, because these are two solid options, okay? At the same time, for Aquarius men, especially if you are dating like women, for Aquarius men, I do feel that a lot of Aquarius men in general are either involved with like other air signs in general, or you are involved still with like a water sign, okay? Is what I'm sensing, like a water sign. I do feel that for in terms of communication, there are going to be some blockages coming through. People are kind of like undecided as to what they want to do. When it comes to your relationship partner, there might be a situation where you're not really seeing eye to eye, mainly because of work, because of like one slip of the tongue, like misunderstandings on the romantic front. Okay, so be very, very careful and patient when it comes to dealing with miscommunication. If somebody is acting weird, I feel that, like, especially if you're dealing with women for this month, Aquarius men, if you're like Aquarius men, Aquarius women, if you're dealing with women on the romantic front, there might be miscommunication. There might be situations in which the other person lets their guard down too much. They reveal a little bit too much. They end up feeling very embarrassed. So then they put up their guard, okay? So you have to approach this with a little bit more sensitivity. And if you feel that, they revealed a little bit too much, and then now they clam up, it's because they're a little bit embarrassed. So give them some time to sort through their feelings, and they will come back to you and, be their bright, cheery self. But I do feel that miscommunications, whether, withholding information or revealing a little bit too much and then regretting it, is greatly indicated by the cards. I also sense as well that in a work situation, a lot of you are getting new work, okay? A lot of you have moved on from previous work situations, and you are going to get new opportunities, and especially grand um, gestures of, especially on the work front, like offers, romantic gestures, even like an offer for a new position, promotions, and even brand new work situations coming through. This is something that you've always wanted. And I do feel on the heels of the wish card, you are getting new income generating opportunities coming through for you. Possibly by the by the third or the fourth week of the month. Okay, so towards the end of the month is what's coming through. I do sense that, even though this offer is on the table, being the true Aquarius, you kind of, you're okay, so you want this job and it's coming into the picture, but a part of you was like, wow, that was really easy, maybe I should aim for something else. So while this opportunity is there, I do feel there is still hesitation from your end whether or not to take this job opportunity for a multitude of reasons, because I do feel office romance, love attractions on the work front. You might have to consider this job and whether or not it's going to be conducive for long-term growth, mainly because you feel the attraction, okay? So that's something you want to be careful about, but I do feel new job opportunities coming through for you. So what I'm getting, is this Ace of Cups and Ace of Pentacles. Both of them are gifts from God, okay? You can have one or the other. And I do feel most of them are linked in with office romance. So whatever it is that you want to do, I do sense that the cards are leaning towards pursuing the work situation. That's what they're leaning towards, okay? But then again, you are also in the reverse position, so you might not be at your best in terms of making the best decisions for your long-term prospects. And especially for the first 2 weeks of the month, don't make any moves, okay? I know that September is bringing about Mercury in retrograde, which is troublesome, but I do feel that you have to sort this out and at least decide on a course of action, but don't execute anything yet until the second half of the month, okay? I do feel as well, for those of you who are single looking, and you're just like, I'm tired of these old people keep coming back in. I'm not that at all interested. If that's something you're dealing with, I do feel there is going to be a situation where they might be weaning themselves from your life. So severance doesn't have to happen from your end, but I do feel that travel is indicated. You're traveling for a new situation. You're traveling towards a new land, a new horizon, possibly traveling for leisure, and you're going to have a very, very good time. So you're getting that fresh new energy coming through for you as a result of travel or as a result of relocation. And then I do feel that you are going to meet your match, okay? This is, usually if the Aquarius shows up as the queen and then there is the king, I do feel that it's a good match. But in general, we have the Knight of Swords, at least somebody coming through who can verbally catch up to you. I do feel that in terms of intelligence, charm, and emotional maturity and wisdom, this person has a lot to offer. So this is why I like this deck, because like I said, it's very facially oriented. It's also very portrait oriented. So instead of, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, you get the Knight of Swords, which is the fastest moving knight in the deck, and he comes in very, very swiftly. This deck, at least he's a little bit less jarring to look at. So you might be dealing with another air sign sometime this month. And I do feel towards the end of the month is greatly indicated, especially on a work front where there might be attraction, okay? So this person is, this is what I call like counsel, but it's counsel that is unsolicited. So you might be engaged in a conversation with this person and all of a sudden they say something out of the blue that is really, really like, that cuts through all the chaos. They provide very like sound insight into an aspect of yourself that you've never really thought about. And I do feel that they do it in a way that is really like nonchalant, okay? So it's just something that comes out of the blue. It's advice that is unsolicited. But if you roll with the advice, I do feel that it's going to allow you to make a lot of traction in the way you interact, in the way you behave with other people. And I do feel that the message that's coming through is you might meet an air sign in your work situation who might say to you, offhandedly, you are very, very emotionally like out of touch with your feelings. They might say that. And you're just like, no, that's not true. And then you go home and you mull it over and you think about it. And you feel that there might be some validity to it. So then the next day, you, I guess, you take their advice and then you start to open up. And then you start to realize that, wow, people are more receptive towards me when I open up. And a lot of you might be in a situation where you might feel a little bit emotionally blocked, or you might be in a situation where you don't know how, you might feel like a little bit insecure. So then you don't really show your feelings unless the other parties show you their feelings. So you're not the first one to invest and show your cards, okay? And this person comes into your life and they're telling you, you are very emotionally blocked. It's time to ease up. It's time to approach people on a more human level. And then you start to realize, there is some validity, there is some truth here. So in order to cultivate better relationships, I do feel that whatever advice is coming to you, especially from somebody that you might have romantic attractions with, especially on the work front, it is wise to take that advice, okay? It is wise to approach relationships in a more even-handed manner, I do sense. And you don't have to hide yourself behind a wall or behind a mask in order to not get hurt, okay? So I do feel that a lot of you have been through a lot of heartache in the past, and you're carrying that residual energy with you into your present, into your future relationships. And it's not allowing you to bond with another person on a human level, on a more open-hearted manner, okay? So it would be best for you to approach life with a little bit more of an open arm and open heart, and give people the benefit of the doubt. So give everyone an equal chance, and match whatever it is that they're giving you. So if one person that you want is climbing up and not giving you the time of day, sever ties with them. There's no need to keep that energy in your midst, okay? If you are encountering a person who's very spirited, who's very honest, and they wear their heart on their sleeves, and they're able to give you the emotional investment that you need, give them a chance, okay? Maybe it can develop into a fruitful relationship. If you're encountering somebody who offers you, despite their age, you might feel like, okay, maybe they're not emotionally mature enough for me. Despite their biological age, despite the way they look, despite your prejudices against this new person. This is another air sign, so a Gemini, Aquarius, Libra coming through. Despite whatever it is that you feel about them, if they give you insights that you feel is very, very solid, if they can give you advice that is really, it's wisdom beyond their age, this is the person you might want to pursue. So leave the past behind, move on with this new person, okay? I feel that Aquarius have been dating a lot of people, and you're trying to find the right one. And we all are. We're muddling through life trying to find the one that is a good fit for us. My advice here is, regardless of whatever relationships you're in, I do sense that you want to grow with the other person. So you want to approach whoever it is that has a lot to offer you in terms of mental stimulation, okay? Like someone needs to be on your same wavelength, on your same intelligence level, on your same emotional maturity level. And I do feel that we are at least narrowing down now air sign and fire signs for this month, okay? Majority. The earth sign is still proving to be a little bit problematic, so move on with your life, okay? Don't be in limbo in terms of love because the one that you want is not reciprocating, okay? You have other options, and life is all about seizing new opportunities as they come in, okay? I do feel financially there is going to be huge income generating potential. I do feel that on the love front, you are somewhat hesitant about showing your cards. The Ace of Cups in reverse doesn't always mean that, love has run out. I do feel that you are very, very cautious about who it is and how you express your loves, how you express your emotions, how you express your feelings. So you are on guard about who you give your heart to. There might be situations, especially if it involves a work environment, where you feel something for someone, but neither side, neither party is showing their cards, mainly because it's not professional and it's not appropriate. So there is a little bit of a playful energy coming through in which you have to be on guard, and you also have to steel yourself up and not show your emotions, okay? So this can be good or bad, but I do feel that you're rational enough to know what you need to do. Aside from that, travel is indicated, as well as situations where you might have to sever ties with people, especially if they're coming through to engage you with conflict, okay? I do feel like possibly news, communication coming through from exes. It's coming through for you. Exes are going to be communicating with Aquarius for this month. And I do sense that it's very one-sided, okay? So you're not going to even give them the time of day. And I do feel that exes potentially coming through since July. I'm sorry, since August. We are in September. We're no longer in August. So since August, okay? So exes have been trying to communicate with you. You pretty much sever ties. I also sense as well that they're saying like hello. They're communicating with you with very little substance. And because you're blocking them off, they're going to engage with you in conflict. And you're kind of at a standstill. You're still debating whether or not to cut them off for good, and I do feel you are, because you are going to move on, and you are going to know that it no longer serves you to devote your energy or even to deal with that residual energy. So you are going to move on. So the rest of the month looks very, very good. The first 2 weeks a little bit troublesome. It's a matter of navigating and getting back into the swing of things, okay? So you are going to turn yourself right around and become a more rational person by the end of this month. And there is a lot of playful energy coming through by the end of this month. He's got a little smirk on his face, and he's looking back at this entire month, and he's thinking to himself, wow, that was quite interesting. So I do feel that Surprises are in store, okay? And these two cards in general tells me there is a situation in which you might have to choose, okay? Work or love. So you might be facing time constraints as well. So you want to decide, whether work or love is going to be on the front burner for you. Keep in mind that it's not mutually exclusive. You can have them both. It's just a matter of time management. It's just a matter of personal preference, okay? What it is that you want to pursue. You can have them both, okay? And by the end of the month, you're going to realize that, okay, yes, I can have them both and I can be, well-rounded and balanced, all right? So have a very wonderful month, Aquarius. I do feel it is going to be very romantic, okay? You're getting your wish card. So whatever it is, dream big and act on it. If you would like a private reading with me, please send me an email, temperatestar@gmail.com. The information for my website, as well as scheduling appointments and things like that, is underneath below in the description box below, okay? So I will talk to you soon. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful September 2015.